Hey guys, I just wanted to post a little something here about the food plot I put in this spring. And last year I had some winter rye in here and it did all right. The turkeys got to a lot of it before it could come up, and then the spring, before the seeds could become viable, I sprayed it all down along with all the weeds and the grasses that were growing in here. And then I thought I was going to need a no-till drill to drill the soybeans in here, and somebody on one of the Facebook pages, no-till Facebook pages, was saying just broadcast it and it'll come up fine. But they said that if you don't have soybeans in the area, it probably won't work anyway if it's under 3 acres, because the deer will mow it down, and this is a ½ acre. And this year in the ag fields, this one is corn, and there's one on the other side of the woods and it's corn. And so I thought, to protect it, I'm going to have to put up an electric fence. Never used electric fence before, so I did a little research, bought the materials, went to Premier One and got a lot of my materials from them. And it's worked out great. As you can see on the outside of the food, or outside of the electric fence, there's just hardly anything left. The deer have mowed it down. Even where the big deer, the tall deer, could reach over that first wire and eat, they did. They nipped a lot of those off. A lot of them are gone. Some of them I just took the weed eater and knocked them down when they started getting up toward the line, so they wouldn't short out the fence. So that's part of the thing. My plan is to put some winter rye on the outside here, and in the bare spots, there's a few bare spots in there where I didn't get good germination or good seed distribution. I did come through 2 more times in the summertime, once when the beans were only about 6 inches tall, 8 inches tall, because the weeds were really coming up fast and they were way taller. And I used glyphosate. These are Roundup Ready beans. So I was able to knock back the weeds and keep the soybeans going. And then I came back later when the soybeans were probably waist high and there were a lot of big weeds again. And you can see out there, there's still some big weeds that have come back. And I don't know if they're kind of weeds that deer like to eat or not. But as you can see out here, there's just a lot of open ground where I can get some rye seeds down. There are a few in there that the turkeys didn't get because I spread some last week, hoping to get an early start on them. And the turkeys have been around here just gleaning them. So one thing we did, or I should say I did, I say we because I had my neighbor come out with his lawnmower. He has a bigger lawnmower. And after the seeds were down and all that grass and rye and everything from the year before was good and brown, I put the seed down, and then he came through about a week later and just mowed the grass. It wasn't raining yet. We weren't getting the rain we needed, but I wanted some kind of a mulch over those beans. So he came through with his mower and set the deck kind of high and just mowed over everything, and it created a nice thatch mulch over the top of the seeds. And I think that's why I got a pretty good germination rate, because those seeds weren't sitting on top of anything. The mowing action just kind of wiggled them down to the ground where they could get in contact with the soil. So I'll just show you what the other end looks like here too. You just can't keep up with the weeds. It's unbelievable how strong these weeds come back. I have a tree stand right in there. Not a tree stand, but tree pegs I got from the saddle. So this is the back side over here, and these were planted all the way out to where you see it killed off. And there's a few plants, a few tiny plants left, and they're all just nipped off, just nipped down to the ground. So never had a chance to get big and to produce pods. Some of these inside the fence still that didn't get browsed too bad look at that, pods going all the way down to the ground. There's just millions of pods in there. So really excited about drawing some of the neighborhood deer into this area when the ag crops get picked, because when that corn is gone, they're going to be looking for something else to eat. They're looking for this now, but we're just not letting them into it. I'm going to wait until the leaves turn brown and it's not palatable for the deer anymore, and then when it dries up and those pods dry up, it becomes really palatable food to them again. Then the fence will come down for the hunting season, probably in October. Some nice tracks in here. I've seen some big ones today. But what a difference having the fence and no fence makes. You can see these all nipped off. All nipped off. On the other side of the fence, the no-go zone. You can see where the fence, where the plants get up against the fence, and that constant snapping, that constant electrical probe that goes through these wires, it'll actually kill those leaves and turn them brown. Earlier in the summer when I came through here, you could hear them snapping. You could hear it snap, 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 wherever there was a plant touching that one. I think is dry enough that it's not snapping anymore. But I tested the wire yesterday and I'm still getting 10.4 volts, so it's still doing really well. So electric fence is worth putting up. Here's a spot that either didn't get seed or something happened that it didn't come up. So that'll get some cereal rye put in there, winter rye. And we hope the winter rye takes off well, because that's very palatable for them as well, especially after it gets a few inches high or more. I had some oats and I put oats in a couple years ago and that worked really well too. The deer loved the oats. Now here it looks like a place where somebody got in there. So some animal, some deer has figured out that they can jump this fence. So that's not a good thing. What I think I'm going to do next year to avoid that happening, wherever I put in beans, if I put in other crops, I'm not so worried about it. But anytime I put in a fence, I think I'm going to put in a high one on the outside as well. Or a higher one on the inside, even go up to the top of the fence post. But it's amazing how these three relatively low wires, the deer for the most part can't figure it out, and they don't jump it. So there it is. Just wanted to share this with you guys, and wish you luck for the season. Hope we all have great success and safe and fun season. If you have any comments or questions or anything, just put them at the bottom. I appreciate you watching. Like my channel if you would, and we'll talk to you next time.